And away we go. It is the Aftermath, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com. Go see our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. They're right down the street from Newport on the Levee in Dayton, Kentucky. So you just take the Levee exit, the first exit on 471, and instead of going towards the Levee, you go the other way. You go through Bellevue into Dayton. They'll get you taken care of. It's the best fried chicken in the city. Great fried chicken, great chicken tenders. The chicken dunkers are way up there on my list. Awesome fries, coleslaw. You can get some fried pickles that are the best as well. Some deviled eggs. But go see Shane and company at Galactic Fried Chicken. They will get you taken care of and ready to go for a big weekend here in the Queen City. Leg one of the big weekend is past as Louisville goes off in the second half a little bit and takes care of Cincinnati 74-64. Bearcats led by 4 at halftime. Louisville answered well and kind of controlled the second half, kept Cincinnati at arm's length. They had a couple chances to make things interesting. Baba Miller gets hurt after makes 2 free throws. I thought they probably should have checked him out after the second made free throw. He ended up giving up an offensive rebound and a bucket before they pulled him, and didn't see him the rest of the game. So 3-point game when Baba gets hurt. They had a couple chances. Kerr had a 3 to cut it to a 1-possession game and misses. Michael Brown hits a 28-footer and then a layup for what, essentially was an 8-point swing. You could have cut it to 3. You ended up down 11 20 seconds later. Some untimely turnovers, but ultimately Cincinnati played well. The defense was as advertised. Louisville hadn't scored under 96 points this season. You held them to 74. You frustrated them, but ultimately they had 2 dudes. And when they needed somebody, Ryan Conwell stepped up, gave them some space in the second half, and then Michael Brown kind of closed it out at the end. Those guys finished. Conwell had 25 and Brown had 22. Only one other guy in double figures, Frew with 11. So ultimately, the defense did its job. Offense was decent in the first half. Second half, they just couldn't get anything to fall. But I thought it was more Louisville controlled the pace, Louisville was the aggressor in the second half, where Cincinnati was the aggressor in the first half. But I turn it over to you, Aaron. What do you think?
I think Bearcats Twitter has lost its mind collectively. You would think that we just lost to one of the bye games on the schedule by looking at Bearcat Twitter. It was not indeed a bye game. It was, however, a game in Cincinnati, not at Fifth Third. It was, at least from what I could see and hear, a Louisville home game of sorts.
They definitely had the advantage.
That's not a shock. And look, they're the 6th ranked team in the country. I thought they put up a good fight. They had a puncher's chance. Pryor made it his look. I don't know what you could see. Pryor put his whole knee into Baba's hip. That's what happened. Yeah. I don't know if you could tell that from where you were seated.
I couldn't. I had terrible seats. I was center court in the first row. That wasn't a great angle to see what happened under the basket.
That was a whole knee driven right into Baba's hip. Baba was irritating him. Baba, I don't know if what Kerr and Buck do has become contagious, but Baba started to start talking his own little shit when he's been out there this season. And that's I think he got under Pryor's skin, and Pryor hit him with 2 quick ones, and that was it. Got him with the 1-2. But
see, this is Cincy toughness 101. This is stupid. I'm sorry. You're upset with the direction of the program after they went tooth and nail with the number 6 team in the country tonight? Come on. You step back for 1 second and think how dumb that sounds. They're 4-1. They've won comfortably in every game except for tonight. They had a lead at halftime. They didn't play up to their standard in the second half. Also, for the last 10 minutes of what was a 3-point game without their best player. Think how dumb that sounds. Just take 1 step back and think how dumb that sounds.
Well,
go ahead. Sorry.
What I will say is I thought that I know I've seen I wasn't listening to Terry Nelson on his broadcast. I was watching. I don't think he was doing the broadcast on
he did radio. Jay Williams was on the TV call.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was national. So I know I've seen people saying that Terry Nelson said that he didn't feel like the offense had an identity. Look, I thought this is the best identity that Wes Miller has set up since he's been here. I think that right now they're trying to play almost a run and gun style offense, and I'm here for it. I don't mind trying to shoot often, especially when I think they've rebounded well. Like in this one, you end up 41-38. Yeah, you lose the rebounding battle, but I still think you rebounded well.
I thought they rebounded well in the first half.
The first half, they did everything better in the first half, sure.
Yeah. And the second half, you're playing 10 minutes without probably your best rebounder.
Correct.
Without Baba.
I thought that McKinley played excellent minutes tonight. I don't know. I think I'm excited about watching tonight and seeing what they did. You held a team that scored, and maybe it wasn't entirely on you. Maybe it was also on these new rims that seem to do exactly what the old rims did at Heritage Bank. Either way, you held a team.
It's not the thing is, Aaron, it's genuinely as much as, and I don't love the rims there, but it's the backdrop more than it's the rims. You're not used to playing in an arena where there's no backdrop behind the basket. It's difficult to shoot there. Always has been.
Regardless, you ended up holding a team that had scored an average of 103 to 74, and that's a huge drop off. A huge drop off.
Look, there were periods tonight that the defense was awesome. Like just suffocated a really good Louisville offense. Just suffocated a really good Louisville offense. They frustrated Michael Brown. And really, in the first half, I thought they did a pretty good job on Conwell. Second half, there were some lapses. He got open a couple times and was able to kind of find his rhythm. And once you let a guy like that find his rhythm, you're in trouble because he can get scorching hot. But the other thing I think that, I don't know what else you can do about it because you're not going to play these two guys 40 minutes. But I thought Louisville did a good job when they had one of Day or Buck off the floor. Louisville did a good job attacking that and figuring out which one didn't have one of those two guys, right? And then attacking Celestine, whatever, gave up an open three to Conwell. Kerr gave up an open three to Conwell where they didn't close out on him particularly well. But when they had Day and Buck both in the game, Louisville's guards were super, super frustrated. Buck was incredible defensively. Watching him frustrate, like that was, you could tell that was experience versus an awesome freshman where Buck knew where he was going to go before he went there almost every time, whether he was going over the ball screen, fighting through the ball screen. He was in Michael Brown's hip pretty much the entire evening.
Yeah, I thought what he did defensively was great. Fantastic. I thought it was Chom's best defensive game. I thought he was. We've talked about it. Each game, I think, has gotten progressively better. He continues to just take a little step forward every game. And tonight, he altered almost everything that was down near around the hoop when he was
And
in.
and offensively, he's getting comfortable
Oh
being
yeah,
more of a guy that plays
Ugh.
15 feet and in. Like he
Uh,
never got to play 15 feet and in at UCF unless he was standing in the dunker spot. That little flip hook shot that he's got is so soft. So
I
soft.
wanted, I wanted, I wanted to throw him into the Ohio River when he shot that three though.
That was a bad one. That was one that's a Johnny Dawkins 3. Like you're still working that out of him. You're still working that out of him. Look, guys, did Chom play great yet? You know who else also had a really good night? Tyler McKinley, who played the other minutes that Chom didn't play. 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Like, yeah, I want Chom out there as much as possible, but Tyler McKinley gave them every bit of a spark when he was on the floor and Chom was out.
I guess you just wish that Tyler McKinley could do more offensively when he was out there.
Yeah, that's going to come with time. Like
I understand.
Right now, he's not being asked to be a scorer. He's being asked to be an energy guy. Hopefully, as he gets more comfortable, you will see him get a little bit more assertive, looking to score, looking for his opportunities, because he's got a soft touch. He can score around the rim. He's got a good jump shot.
He ran ISO at one point.
Yeah. I think they would have liked to have gotten the Chom the ball more. I think they screwed up offensively a couple of the sets that they were trying to get him the ball. Like there were still probably 3 or 4. I mean, it wasn't they took care of the ball well enough. They had 13 turnovers, which you'd like to see 10 or less. But I didn't think the turnovers were a terrible issue, but I do think the timing of them was an issue. They were trying to get the ball, work the ball inside a little bit more, and it looked like they either the guy on the wing that the ball was supposed to go to left early, or they tried to force something that wasn't there. Day had the one where I don't know what he thought he was doing, trying to get the ball to Kerr on the sideline. Louisville stepped right in front of it, jumped the route, and took it the other way for points. This is going to be a thing. They're going to have to, now that it's starting to work, right? Now that he's starting to get comfortable becoming a factor with his back to the basket, they're going to have to get better at some of those points. You know, Louisville goes on the 11-0 run in the first half that tied it at 17.
Yeah.
Cincinnati went on a 13-0 run. Louisville answers with an 11-0 run. Like it be like that sometimes. But once you get more comfortable, Aaron, with Chom, I think, as that guy, then you can isolate him, set up a play, throw it to him, and work through him to end some of that stuff. And that's part of the offense becoming more efficient. They haven't gotten there yet. But I see things that I like.
Yeah. I see things I don't like.
Yeah, sure. There's stuff that you know, I don't. Wes is never going to have an elite offense. I just don't think it's part of his coaching DNA. So I don't expect that.
What I was going to say is Day going 1 of 8 from 2. I don't love that.
Yeah.
That's not fun. Sean Abaya 4 of 16. Like, we gotta
don't care because he has. Aaron, is it frustrating in the moment? Yes. Absolutely. But when they get into the Big 12 He has to figure it out. And the only way he's not going to figure it out by taking 4 shots a game. He's not. So there's going to be some nights like this that it's going to drive you crazy. Yeah. But guess what? Day carried them in the first half with 10 points. Louisville did a good job crowding him in the second half. I don't think even the threes he took, the threes he took in the first half were open. I didn't think he got many open looks in the second half. Somebody else has to step up into that scorer's role for one of the guards, and that person is Abayev. There's nobody else. Like, do you hope Kerr hits some threes and helps you out? Yeah. You're not counting on Keyshawn Tillery to be a bucket getter at this point in time. It's got to be Sean Abayev. So you're going to have to live with him having a night like this with the idea. Now, if we get into Big 12 play and you're still dealing with 4 of 16 from the floor and 3 of 11 from 3, not great, Bob. But right now, 5 games in, he's got to work through this. He has to work through this.
I understand that. With it being as big a game as it is, you almost wish it hadn't turned up here.
Sure. Absolutely. Yes. You would like for it to have been Monday night against St. Francis of Pete's or whoever they're playing.
And I don't mean that I'm not trying to say that all of them were bad shots. This certainly was not the case. He had some great looks. There was probably, I don't know, 3, 4 that I would have liked him to have had more, just be more set when he's taking, like just have a cleaner release, more in rhythm. I just felt like a couple of them were rushed. Outside of that, though, that's my only gripe.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and I get it. Like in the moment, the games that he has like this are going to be frustrating.
Yes.
But he has to get there. Like, this team has no shot if he doesn't get there. Straight up, like if we're just being honest, if this offense is going to get to a point where they're good enough to support the defense, Sean's got to get there. If he doesn't, they're not going to get there. You know what I mean?
Like I said, there was only a couple of them that I was like, what?
Yeah, and that's fair.
I still love his confidence, though. I love what he's doing out there, because he isn't afraid of anybody. He's not afraid to take anybody one-on-one and try and drive to the hoop. He's not afraid to take the step back and shoot a 3. He's not afraid of any of that, and that's all part of his game. It's when he catches it and it just something seems off in the moment. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there are going to be there's some moments, Aaron, where you're right. He needs to defer a little bit. As in, this probably isn't the best shot at this point in time.
Right.
Like keep it moving. What point do you start actually putting stock in analytics, Ken Palm? Probably around conference play. Like a 10 games or so. Because look, I don't think, I know that Ken Palm says they're 160th or whatever in offense. I don't think that they're that bad offensively. I also don't think they're number 2 in defense. Now, tonight maybe makes a little bit more of a case that they're closer to that than they are the offense getting up back to, inside the top 100. But yeah, I mean, it takes a while because a lot of that stuff is weighted for a team that's never played together. So what are you waiting? Like where are the checks and balances on the weight system on where this starts out before the season starts? Because that impacts a lot on where things are at early until you have enough data, until the sample size is big enough that those preseason weights are worked out. So, yeah. Okay, I don't think that's an accurate description of where they are offensively. Bearcat 30, Ard 8J. I don't.
Here's a question for you, Chad. Would you take back once or maybe even twice a season wearing the Zubaz uniforms if it meant being an Adidas flagship and getting bananas Adidas money?
That's not how it works anymore. The shoe companies don't have the influence that they used to have. So no, I wouldn't. You know, it holds a lot more weight. Telling kids that if they come to your school, they're going to get free Jordans for their entire college career. That holds a lot more weight.
In any case.
Yeah. Ultimately, Aaron, I think a lot of this came down to Cincinnati had the energy in the first half. They dictated how the first half was played. And then Louisville flipped the script and did the same thing to them in the second half. And I think that's something this team's got to learn, because they came out exactly how you want them to come out of the gate in this game. Louisville didn't make a basket, didn't have a field goal until 7.5 minutes into the game. They had 4 free throws, no field goals.
It was wild.
At the right before the second media timeout. And Louisville punched back, but guess what? Cincinnati continued to be the aggressor, and that's how they went into halftime with the lead. I thought in the second half, Louisville came out as the aggressor. Louisville was the more physical team. Louisville was doing a better job playing the way they wanted the game to be played. And that's something this team's got to learn, is that you have to match the energy. You have to, you know, when you come out and you take it to a team like that, you've got to be ready for you know what the top 10 team's going to do, Aaron? They're going to punch back. They're not just going to say, okay, well, it wasn't our night. You guys got us. You played a better first half. But it's, again, the Baba thing makes it so difficult because Cincinnati had stemmed that tide. And the 2 free throws from Baba cut it back to 3. So you had saw the pendulum swing to Louisville, and then Cincinnati had stabilized. And they're within a score, and then your best player goes out. That leaves a lot of what if. It just does.
Well, and you finish this game, Louisville shoots 23 of 62 for 37.1%. As we're all talking about offense, by the way, and how terrible Cincinnati's is compared to the high flyers that is the Louisville offense, and how historically amazing they've been. Anyway, 37.1 on 23 of 62 compared to 37.5 and 21 of 56 for Cincinnati. 8 of 28 from 3 for Cincinnati, 8 of 29 from 3 for Louisville, both around 27 and 28%. Free throws is where it was very different. 10 of 16. You only missed 6 in this one, Cincinnati.
Yeah, but you only shot 3 more front ends, right? 3 more front end to one-on-ones.
Yeah, but yes, you only missed 6, but you only took 16. That's a low for them this season, I believe. Compared to Louisville, 24 of 28 for 85%. So all in all, as far as shooting goes, very similar. The free throws were obviously the difference. Your difference ends up being 10 points in the final score, and your difference between the two teams was 14 points from the free throw line, where for Cincinnati, again, just a night of throws.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. You're let's see. Abayev 1 of 3. That he has got to learn. One of the things he has to learn is that one of the ways you get going is to get to the line. Because go look at Michael Brown. He would have had a night like Sean Abayev if he wasn't aggressive downhill and he got to the line 14 times. And he made 12 of 14 from the line. And what probably could have been a 12, 14, 16-point game is a 22-point game. And it provides a lot of the difference in the final score.
Well,
and
and
instead,
Sean was trying that on some of the threes where he's doing the fallaways, trying to get the foul on the threes, where, like, to your point, if you just put the ball down, put your head down and try and drive instead of those fallaway threes that you're trying to get and you're going to get them every now and again. But if you're seeking that out, if I'm a ref, I'm kind of annoyed by that you're just trying to get this 3-point play every time you shoot a three.
It all works in unison, right? Like if you shot fake and you get a guy in the air and you can get downhill, get to the rim, and even if you don't score, you get to the free throw line, then you have to convert. And, the great scorers over the past 15 years, SK, Jaren, Jacob Evans, they got to the line. And they got to the line and they hit their free throws. And even when they had bad nights, they were still able to put up 14, 15, 17 points because they were 7 of 8 from the free throw line, because they were, 10 of 12 from the free throw line on a night where their shot wasn't falling. That's one of those things that Abayev has to learn as he's understanding this. The great scorers, to be a great scorer, you need 6, 8 points a night from the line. And the way he's playing right now, he's not playing that way. He's not playing downhill. At times, he's still playing too sideways, Aaron. That's, the dribble, hezzy, step back. I know that's his move. I know he's comfortable with it. But at this level, maybe 2 less of those, and you add 2 drives to the rim, and instead of taking 3 free throws tonight, he takes 7. And things look a little different.
We just got to
down
make
the stretch
more than 3 or 4 of those then.
Yeah. It's a good point. Silent killer, glaring stat, Louisville 17-7 points off turnovers. Both teams had 13 turnovers, but Louisville had 9 steals. Cincinnati only had 5. So Louisville's getting more live ball opportunities to get points. And that's 4 more live ball opportunities that Cincinnati had. But shit, Aaron, most of them were what? Illegal screens and charges. Illegal screens drawn by Buck and charges drawn by Kerr were
I don't even know
4 or 5 of their 13 turnovers.
Look, I don't. Buck will do that. He didn't even have to try to draw those. They were literally just almost at 90. They put their bodies in 90-degree angles to just.
Do you know why that happens?
Put their whole ass into his entire abdomen.
Do you know why that happens? Because they can't screen him.
No,
like on those handoffs, and they can't screen him.
It's crazy how he comes off of screens. It's crazy.
I thought John Newman was probably the best I had ever seen at that. Like John Newman almost never got hit with a screen.
It's nothing compared to this.
It's nothing compared to Buck. Like they were so frustrated with how bad he was beating them over the screen to the ball, like, and being back in position to guard in a blink.
Well, and we've seen plenty of Ali Khalifa. Ali Khalifa looked like a shell of himself.
They're not, yes, but remember when he was at BYU, they were running almost the entire offense through him.
Yeah.
They're not doing that now. Like, are you going to put the ball in Ali Khalifa's hands or Michael Brown's hands?
I'm just saying when he looked as frustrated as anybody with the fact that he couldn't
screen Buck.
Correct.
But my point being, he's in a different role where he's out there all the way out doing the handoff stuff and doing like the pick and roll stuff. And that's not, who he is. He's not great at that. Ali Khalifa, that dude sucks. His sister played here. I recall correct. His sister played for Michelle Clark Hurd, I think.
Yeah, she was here.
A couple years back.
Can confirm.
But all right, let's go through the individuals, Aaron.
All right, we will start right here with Shauna Bayev. Kelsey just getting home?
No, Liz is getting here.
All right. 12 points for Shauna Bayev, 4 of 16 from the field, 3 of 11 from 3, 1 for 3 from the line, 3 defensive rebounds, 1 assist, 1 foul, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 27 minutes played. He finishes -7.
Got to make more shots. I mean, again, I don't have a problem with the growing phase. Like, you can't. I think you would agree with this, Aaron. I think we're all frustrated that West didn't go out and get a veteran 2-guard
every year.
But that is the role he sees for Shauna Bayev. It might be from the 3 instead of the 2, but that is the role he sees for Abayev. The difference in that is Ryan Conwell's a veteran scoring off-ball guard, wing, whatever you want to call it. That's what it looks like when you've got a guy that's been through 4 years of big games and the wars and, where were the Abayev step backs from? The Harden step back, he took like 5 of them. Like, he took them. He didn't make them, but he took them. That's kind of the thing, right? Like, with Conwell, he's been through it. He's learned. He's taken his lumps. And now he's at the apex of his college career, and he's playing off an NBA point guard. Abayev is taking those lumps. And we're going to be frustrated when he has bad nights like this. There's also going to be nights, Aaron, where he has 24. And we're going to love it.
Can't wait. Moving on to Day, 12 points, 3 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. He hit all 4 of his free throws, 1 offensive, 3 defensive, giving him 4 total rebounds, 6 assists, 4 fouls, 3 turnovers, a block, 34 minutes played, -12.
He didn't have a good second half. He was great in the first half. But in games like this, they need him to be great for 40. Because in the second half, he was 0 for 6, 0 for 2 from 3. He had 1 rebound. He had 4 assists, but he had 3 turnovers. So, in that scenario, Day-Day's got to be better. Day-Day's got to be better in the second half, in a big game, in a game against one of the best teams in the country. You're going to have, again, we've talked about this, Aaron, 7-8 games against teams that are considered one of the best teams in the country when you get into Big 12 play. You cannot have Day-Day have 0 for 6, 0 for 2, 2 points, and be -12. He was -12 for the game, right? Is that what you said? He was 0 for 12 in the second half, or -12 in the second half. It's not going to work. He's got to find a way to get the job done better in the second half than he did tonight.
You can tell he was trying to create some shots. His shot selection was not what it's been this season. I think that was probably the biggest disappointment for me with him today, is just how, especially in that second half, how bad his shot selection ended up being.
His shot selection was great in the first half.
Agreed.
Second half, he was taking a lot of tough shots. He was trying to force it. I know he was trying to make something happen.
He was trying to be a leader, and you get it, but you've got to let it slow down.
Yeah.
At least he did start to pass the ball.
Alex, I've tried not to do this. I tried not to. Stadium was 80-20 Louisville fans. You're going to blame that on the fucking athletic department? That's on the fan base. You can make excuses. That this fan base makes too many excuses. Straight up. Too many excuses. Are you a UC basketball fan? Was UC basketball playing a game against a top 10 team in the country tonight? Yes. Did UC basketball fans get embarrassed tonight? Yes. Time to stop pointing fingers. What's the old saying, Aaron? You point one finger at John Cunningham, there's 3 fingers pointing right back at you.
That's what they say.
That was embarrassing, the fan base tonight. You embarrassed yourself. You spend your money however you want. I'm never going to call anybody out for not going. You don't want to go, don't go. But then don't come in here and try to point fingers at the fucking athletic department when Cincinnati fans had just as much opportunity to buy tickets as Louisville fans. Come on. Embarrassing. Anyhow.
All right. Well, moving on to
50-50, Tucker. It was at best 70-30. When the two fan base, like when Louisville fans stood up and you looked around, and I argued that like it was over exaggerated how bad Dayton had an advantage down there. Louisville had a decided advantage in that crowd.
All right. Mustafa Cham, 10 points, 5 of 7 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, 0 for 2 from the line, 2 offensive, 7 defensive, giving him 9 rebounds on the night, 1 assist, 3 fouls, 1 turnover, 3 blocks, 1 steal, 26 minutes played, -9.
I thought it was his best game here so far. I thought he looked a lot more comfortable on offense when he got the ball. We saw that touch on his little baby hook multiple times, hit another mid-range. It was a really, really good showing for Mustafa Cham.
I agree. I think it was the best game.
Timeout. I think Louisville was louder, but I don't think the overall numbers were that big of a discrepancy. Cincinnati dominated the first half. How was Louisville louder? What? That's even more embarrassing. If you think that place was 50-50 and Cincinnati played as well as they did against a top 10 opponent in the first half, and every time Louisville did something, there was more reaction from the Louisville fans than Cincinnati building a halftime lead, you're not making the argument you think you are, Tuck. Here's the other thing. Hopefully they play the big non-con games at home from now on. Louisville was not coming to play Cincinnati at Fifth Third Arena. They weren't. They were not signing a home and home. They did this because they have a good relationship with the people that run the event, same as Cincinnati does. And the players get paid playing the event this year and next year through NIL, through the third party. Louisville was not coming here to play this game. They were not doing a home and home with Cincinnati. So do you want to play the game or do you not want to play the game? Because if you don't want to play the game and they don't schedule the game, then everybody bitches about the schedule and that they don't schedule anybody. So this is what they had to do to schedule the game. They scheduled the game and the fan base no-showed. Sorry.
So safe to say you don't think that Cincinnati's going to travel down next year for the game down there the same?
No. Louisville fans will sell out the dump that is Freedom Hall. It's a fair weather fan base. That's the only way. They don't win. So okay, fine. Then you're going to live in a perpetual cycle of feeling like the team never meets your expectations because they don't support a loser. You want to see what? Go look at DePaul and Seton Hall. You want to see what losing programs look like? There's a bunch of them out there. Cincinnati has not had the level of success that is expected by this fan base, but to act like they're terrible is wrong. It's wrong. Is Freedom Hall a bigger dump? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But do they have RC Cola?
No. I did not have RC Cola tonight.
I just know does Freedom Hall have it?
I don't know what they're but it's Pepsi. It's gotta be. Like Louisville's the Yum brands. Like you know that whole story, right?
Of the Yum brands?
Yeah.
What story are you referring to?
Yum Brands is a thing because Pepsi was getting their ass kicked by Coke in fast food restaurants. So Pepsi created Yum Brands. Yum Brands bought Taco Bell, KFC, and one other one, Papa John's or whatever, and then made them all Mount Pepsi so that Pepsi had market share in the fast food industry.
Huh.
You didn't know that?
I don't know that I knew that one.
Yeah, Pepsi couldn't, nobody, McDonald's, Burger King, everybody was Coke, and Pepsi wanted in, and nobody wanted to let Pepsi in. So Pepsi started Yum Brands, bought a couple fast food franchises, and switched them to Pepsi.
I just figured it was because they had to buy that dude an F-16 fighter jet when he saved up all those Mountain Dew points.
Georgia beat Xavier at the buzzer. Fanta fountain at Freedom Hall. Oof.
Getting back to Mustafa Cham, I agree. I think it was his best game of the season. I really liked what I saw of him defensively, and offensively. Again, he continues to take steps forward, and I think that as he can, I didn't think that Louisville really had anybody that could match up with him well at all, offensively or defensively.
No, I just think Cincinnati is still working on what it looks like feeding him the ball more and more and more. And I think you're going to see that as the season progresses, more and more that he's going to become a bigger and bigger part of the offense.
Moving on.
Thank you, Tyler. We appreciate that. I agree too. The only UC pod you can listen to that's the only legit fair UC pod. I agree, Tyler. And I pay my employees. Go ahead, Aaron.
Baba Miller, 9 points, 3 of 6 from the field, missed his only 3 of 4 from the line, 3 offensive, 5 defensive, giving him 8 rebounds. You got to think he was going to double.
He was.
3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 steal, 25 minutes played, -3, but 1 big old knee in that hip.
Yeah. And I think it just created Aaron gets paid for this. Sadly, yes, Neil. He does.
I don't volunteer.
I do pay him.
Got too many kids.
I don't pay him a lot, but I pay him. I think that 1-2 punch of having Baba and Cham, not having that over the final 10 minutes, tilted things to Louisville in terms of their ability to get on the glass, to be a little bit more aggressive on the floor, going after loose balls. I think it definitely had an impact on, and this is not to say, Aaron, I am not saying Cincinnati wins if Baba Miller plays the rest of the second half. I am saying I think it looks different. I think that game feels different if Baba is out there for the last 10 minutes.
Freed up Lane's not having a 6'11", 7'1", however tall he is, alien down there with a 7'4" wingspan or whatever he's got. So yeah.
It sucked not having him because I thought he was Cincinnati's best player when he was in the game. And your best player gets hurt. You don't have him for the last 10 minutes. It's shitty, but it's going to impact the outcome.
Yeah, you just hope that there's no long-lasting effects on that hip and he can get well soon.
Those things hurt. I got a little bit of a hip issue right now. They're not fun.
All right. Buck Harris had 9 as well. 4 of 7 from the field. 1 for 1 from the line. That's surprising that he only got to the line because he still hits the deck every time he goes to the hole. But 3 defensive rebounds, 1 assist, 2 fouls, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 steal, 20 minutes played, -6.
The menace. Buck the menace. I mean, he frustrated the hell out of Brown. Just dogged him all over the place all night. I love watching him in the open court because he's not giving it up, really, Aaron. Like, he is putting his head down and going to the rim and trying to make something happen come hell or high water.
His favorite play is coast to coast, right?
Yes,
Like
for sure.
That's his favorite play. I am not passing the ball. I am going to weave through everyone and throw up an acrobatic shot that somehow
Usually goes in.
More often than not goes in. It's crazy. His energy is unmatched. Carcresa, 6 points, 2 of 7 from the field, all threes, 3 assists, 4 fouls, 2 turnovers, a steal, 25 minutes played, -12.
He needs to shoot better. I know people are getting frustrated with hearing he's going to shoot better. He is going to shoot better, but here is the inherent problem with that with Kerr. He's going to have games where he's 2 for 7. He's going to have games where he's 4 of 6. Like, Kerr is not a median 3-point shooter, right? Like, he's not shooting his percentage very often. He's either going to shoot pretty well above it or he's going to shoot pretty well below it. And so far, it's been pretty well below it more often than not. People saying Buck should take some of Kerr's minutes. I mean, I don't hate the idea, but I don't think they want to play Day-Day a bunch of point guard. So if Buck takes Kerr's minutes, you're taking Day-Day and putting him on the ball as opposed to where he's a little bit better as a scorer off the ball. And then you've got Buck and Day-Day as your 2 guards.
Unless you're running Tillery in that same rotation and you're moving Buck up to the 3, and then that's very different too, because then you're
3 guys.
Then you're taking
one of them can score.
Then you're taking a Abayev off the floor.
Yeah. So there's a balance that they have to find between Buck's minutes and Kerr's minutes that I think so far they've done a pretty good job of. But I want Kerr running the team 22, 23, 25 minutes a night. Yeah, I agree, Alex. I mean, he almost did tonight. He hit 2 in the second half tonight that started to pull Cincinnati back when things were starting to slip away. Said he's going to be that guy that hits daggers in big games and the tone will change. He's not afraid to take them. Never afraid to take them.
I don't know if Bearcat 30 is referring here when he says when your point guard never touches the paint, you get the low quality looks they got all second half. Do you mean they as in the whole team or they as in Kerr? Because Kerr, he was only 2 of 4 in the second half. He did all right in the second half.
No, he's talking about just getting the ball off the bounce into the paint. He's not a guy that's going to break down a defense off the dribble. So it is an issue. But there are teams that rely on moving the ball via the pass that are very successful on offense. So they need to be more of that. If they're not, they really don't have I think Tillery is going to get there eventually, but right now he's not looking to score when he gets in there.
Not much. And we'll get to him. But first, Jalen Celestine, 4 points, 1 of 2 from the field, all threes, 1 of 2 from the line, 1 offensive rebound, 1 assist, 2 fouls, 2 turnovers, 1 block, 18 minutes played. He did not have a plus or minus. He was right at 0.
If he's going to be out there 18 minutes, I think he needs to take more than 2 threes.
If he's going to be out there 18,
double that.
18 minutes. That's a lot of minutes for that fella. And if that's going to be the case, then he's got to do more than just shoot threes. And by that, you've got to contribute.
He's correct. I thought he defended pretty well.
That or find an assist or take care of the ball. You can't have 2 turnovers if you're not touching the ball enough to where you're only getting 2 shots. If you're going to have 2 turnovers, you probably need to be going, 4 of 7. But
yeah,
that'd be my only knock there. I agree. I don't think defensively he looked like he didn't belong out there or a step behind or anything. He's certainly not going to replicate anything that Sincere Harris is giving you, but there wasn't a glaring drop off.
Yeah.
All right. Tyler McKinley, 2 points, 1 for 1 from the field, 2 offensive, 3 defensive, giving him 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 fouls, 16 minutes played, -5.
I love watching him play. I love the energy he plays with. I love the IQ that he plays with. I'm just a big fan of seeing Tyler out there, and the help he gives in a bunch of different areas when he's on the floor. I think he sets good screens. I think he keeps the ball moving on offense when he touches it. He had another one today where, a lot of freshmen catch the ball moving into the middle of the paint and they instantly try to force something. The defense was there. He moved the ball and kept the offense moving. I just think he plays with a great IQ. I think he plays with great energy. I'm excited to see his offensive game start to blossom as the
game slows down.
As he gets more comfortable. Yeah, that's one of the things. But also as he gets more comfortable, this is the role they're asking of him right now, right? Go out there, give us energy. It's like, it's similar to what they asked like of Justin Jackson his freshman and sophomore year. They're different players, but they're both energy givers. Like, go out there, hustle, get on the floor, go get some rebounds, set good screens, keep the ball moving on offense. And as he continues to evolve into that role, I do think you're going to see a little bit more of his offensive game come out. I don't know that he's ever going to be a guy that, like this year, that you're going to say, go get us 10 and 7. But if he can get it up to 6, 7 points a night, he's going to be a huge, huge asset to this team in his 15, 17, 18 minutes a game.
Yeah, they started playing a little bit tonight with him at the 4, and I think he was at the 4 and Sean was at the 5, right?
When Baba went out, they brought Tyler in to play the 4, and Sean was at the 5.
And I think it's the first time we've gotten that look this season. So
I think we would have gotten it a lot more had Slime been healthy.
Sure.
And then Slime and Chom would have played the 5. But when Slime went down, Tyler kind of is the de facto 5 now. Back up.
Well, I guess I'm just curious to see if we'll see more of him and Chom out there at all together or not.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm tired. I think you can do it in small stretches, but I don't love if you've only really got 2 5s. Having one out there, having them both out there together.
Yeah, no, I get that. Lastly, Keyshawn Tillery, 0 for 2, no points, 0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3. Both 1 offensive and 1 defensive rebound, giving him 2. 1 assist, 1 foul, 1 turnover, 8 minutes played. The only Bearcat to finish positive, +4.
Got to get Keyshawn more minutes. He's fine. Like he's a perfect 8 to 10 minute a night, like kind of third point guard behind Kerr and Day.
Yep. That's everybody. Points per possession was at .928. So first one that we haven't been over 1.
Yeah.
Not great. That's about all I got. 6 of 14 for layups. They continue to suck at layups. Suck.
This is why you suck. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for tonight, I think. Thanks to everybody for tuning in as the Bearcats fall 74-64 at Heritage Bank Arena. I will say this, Aaron, just from an outside perspective, I've got a longtime friend that's a Louisville fan. He came up for the game. I talked to him afterwards, and he said, I thought you guys made it sound like this place was like the worst arena in the world. He was like, it's not like a palace by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not that bad. And he's probably right. I think we hate it because it's here and we want something new. But with the new video board, the new seats, like they've made enough improvements to the place that it's not a complete dump anymore. It's not a bad place to watch a game.
It's not a good place to watch a game.
I didn't say it was. That's going to wrap it up. That is the Aftermath. We'll see you for another Aftermath much later than this tomorrow night. Brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.